Day 4 of the marble math and physics. We're going to make a pinball machine out of the labyrinth that we made yesterday. Now a pinball machine has to have a little launcher, and so we're going to make a launcher out of the style of a real pinball machine. You can see how it works like that. It's going to be a little straw, and instead of a stick we'll just use the paper straw in the middle of it. And then you can see there has to be a little pathway going up for the marble, but then a bunch of places for it to come falling back down. And then we'll have to tilt the thing up like this before we're done so that it actually falls down the way it's supposed to. All right, so we'll start by making the launcher. You want to cut the fat straw. You got a fat straw here. You cut it right about there. And then one of these little skinny rubber bands, number 33 rubber bands. It's about 3 inches of straw. You're going to poke the rubber band through. Maybe you need something to poke it with. And then you come out on the outside of the straw, and that's where you're going to tape it on. You can see that it's a little bit too long. Go down 2.5 inches instead. And you're going to have a piece of tape ready to go. Put 2 or 3 pieces of tape just so it's all ready when I need it. All right, so I'll stick it through there again. Poke it through there. Wrap it over the top and tape it on. Now when you pull on it, it stays on the top there where it's supposed to. Then you get the paper straw. Stick the paper straw through there and run into the rubber band at the bottom like that. Like that. That's what you want. And then you'll hold it in place there with the piece of tape. And there it is. There's your little launcher. It's not going to go crazy. It's not going to launch the marble across the room, but you don't want to launch the marble across the room. So here's the thing. You're going to pull it down about how far you think you're going to want to pull it, and then that's where you're going to want to cut it off. So cut it off right there, and there it is. There's the launcher. Now you got to mount your launcher inside here in the lower corner. So yesterday you were supposed to leave a little space. And if you didn't, it's no problem. You just take off the stuff that you're gonna want in that space there. And then you're gonna poke a hole in the bottom, in the very, very bottom, with your sharp pencil, right where you're gonna want the launcher to go. Make it a little bit bigger than the launcher. Stick the launcher in there. Ooh, that's the wrong way. Stick it there. I want to stick it in from the top. Maybe a little bit bigger. Cardboard's such an easy thing to work with. Love it. And it's environmental as well. As long as we're planting more trees. Now you see, I got this big old hole right there. And I think I'm okay because I want the launcher to be a little bit close, nice and close to the side. But I'm still going to put a piece of tape right over the hole. Because no problem. I could just put it right there, and I don't want the marble to go down in the hole. All right? All right, so then I'm going to glue the straw to the hole. And let it dry. I think I'll glue it on the inside as well. Make sure that it doesn't fall out. I'm also going to make sure that it's down at the level of where the marble is going to be, which is obviously going to be sitting on the bottom. And when the glue cools and hardens, it's going to be pointing in the right direction. Okay, so let that cool. And meanwhile, we got our little border. This is our little border that we can use for the marble guide, right? Doesn't have to be that tall. You could even cut this thing in half and have twice that much border if you want. I think I'm going to leave it like that. But the important thing here is when the marble gets to the top, you want it to take a turn out here and then fall down over here. So you want a little piece at the top that's going to be a curve. You want it to curve at the top like that. That's the most important one. So I'm going to cut this thing right here so that I have plenty of border for that curve. Okay, and then I'm going to glue that guy in there just like that. Okay, I'm going to glue it there. I'm going to put the color on the front actually, and I'm going to glue it just by the edges. I'm going to put glue on both edges and maybe a little bit along the bottom, and I'm going to pop it in there like that. And there's my curve. And the other piece is going to be down here, and it's going to keep that marble going the way it's supposed to go. And this one is going to come back to the very bottom here. I'm going to bend it a little bit like that so that it can glue onto the bottom over there. And I'm going to make a little bend here too so it can glue on at the top. And so it'll sit there. That's just holding the marble more or less where it's supposed to be as you launch it. Now my launcher is all hardened, and I want to put this one in there too. And you want to kind of pinch it up there so the marble doesn't have anywhere else to go. Just right along that chute there. Right, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put some here and some along the edge, along the bottom there, and I'll smack it in there right next to the shooter launcher, rubber band thing. Okay, just hold it there for a few seconds so the whole thing cools. Once again, if you want to run it further up, you just cut it in half and you'll have plenty of that border to go all the way up to the top. Okay, so now the marble is going to go up, it's going to come around here, and then you have to think about what's going to be interesting for it to do on the way back down. Well, these things might not be that interesting because you're going to hit it and it might just stay there, and these horizontal ones might not be that interesting. You're probably going to want things that curve or bend a little bit, slant a little bit. And then you have to also think about what you want at the bottom. Usually a pinball machine has got, what do you call them? Paddles, flippers, and you can push the thing back up again. Well, that's a little bit complicated. If you come to the science workshop, we could build those. Or maybe you could figure out a way to do them just with the stuff you got. But we're just going to make it so that if it lands in different places, you could get different points for it. So one thing you can do is take your little paper cup and cut it in half like that, and then you can glue that in there, and you could say, well, that one, if it lands there, you get 10,000 points. And if it lands in the other one, you only get 3 points, or something like that, you know. So I'm going to put one right here, like that. And then this guy's going to be in the way, obviously, so I'm going to move that guy. And then I'm going to put another one right beside it. Again, putting the glue right on the edge, just a little blob of glue, just to hold it in place. And make another one right there. So you can make 2 or 3 of those like that along the bottom. I'm going to take this guy out too because he's too close to the bottom. And this guy's a horizontal. Maybe I'll leave. No, this one's more interesting because it's got the little bumps on the top. But I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to leave the holes because if it falls down in the hole, then you either get more points or less points. You got to decide yourself what each hole means. Okay, and then I'm going to put these rubber bands going vertically. Don't really do anything, so I'm going to take that out. But I'm going to put another one. I'm going to put this one back in. Put this clothespin back in, sort of separating those ones. I'm going to take this horizontal one out also, make it more slopey. Woo, I did a really good job of gluing that. It's better if you do a bad job of gluing it. You can change it easier later. I'm going to put this one right here. I'm going to take out this rubber band. I'm going to leave that rubber band. I'm going to put another one over here, making a little angle in case something gets over there. And then the idea is, once you start doing it, you can keep changing it until the marble starts doing some interesting things on the way down. Okay, so it's going to be tilted, but you don't want to tilt it too much. You don't want it like that high, because then the marble is going to come down too fast. It's going to hit the bottom, it might even bounce out. So you want a very low slope, not like this big. And so you can get that slope by putting corks underneath. You can put 2 corks up like this, like that. That's a pretty good slope right there. Maybe even too much. If you just have a little tiny slope, it's more interesting because the marble goes slower. Bong, 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 and all the way to the bottom. But you can always change it. You can start with 2 corks, and then you can go down to 1.5 corks. If you want, you could cut the cork with the cardboard cutter. Cut the cork in half, and you can put 1.5 corks or 1.25 corks, however many corks you want. And likewise on the bottom, you can put 1/2 cork down here, or you could put more of these cups. You can put more of the cups on the bottom like that. But what we usually do with pinball machines is we hang it over the edge of the table. So when it's over here like this, we got the little shooter hanging over the edge like this. So then you want you see these little paper cups, they could just be smashed until it gives you the angle that you want. So you could put some cups up like this if you want, or you could put it down on a table like that. Okay, I think I'm just going to put 2 of these things here, 2 of the corks in the back, and see how that angle works, and then change it from there, right? So I'm going to sand the corks off to make the glue stick better. The glue doesn't stick that well to the edge of the cork. I'm going to sand the corks, and I'm going to sand both ends of the top one. So this one's going to stick here very nicely, and then the one on the top is going to stick up to here, like that. All right, so that's my slope. Okay, now I'm going to get a marble and see how the shooter is working. Usually you have to tweak the shooter a little bit as you're making it go. Oh, no, it's working pretty well. Aha! My marble gets stuck. Well, maybe that's, well, you have to see if it gets stuck there all the time. And if it does, then that's low points. That's like 1 point. And then if it's something that's really hard to get, then that's going to be high points. Okay, so I'm on another marble shot here. Oh, I got all the way over in there. Oh my gosh, that actually makes an easy shot. I wonder if it's going to do that every single time. Take your marble back out again. Come back here again. Whoa! I think the angle is pretty good. Whoops, that wasn't quite hard enough. Oh, I got in that one. If the marbles are always going in the holes, maybe you want to cover up some of the holes with tape. Oh, okay, so maybe he's going in that one too much. Maybe I need to make a little stopper right here so that he turns around. But the marble doesn't go in that hole every time. I'll put it right here. Oh, I'll put this down here like this. Put that guy right there and just start him down this way. Okay, here it goes. Whoops. Got all the way down there. Boom! Whoa! Got all the way to the bottom on that one. Oh, he got stuck there. That's not too good. Have to chisel that one out. I got my little cardboard cutter. I got to chisel him out right here like this, so the marble doesn't get stuck there. So you could see you're being an engineer. You're engineering the pinball machine so that it works. It's going to go through there. This time it's not going to get stuck. It's going to come down to here, but maybe it'll get stuck there. All right, maybe we should take that thing off there so it's just bouncing around there. Now one finally made it down there to the middle cup. All right, take that out again and try it again. And you could shoot up 2, 3, 5 marbles before you dump them out and collect them to see where they all land. Mine's got a little piece of glue down here. I want to get that piece of glue out. Get the cardboard cutter and hack that little piece of glue out so it doesn't keep causing problems. And shoot it again. Oh, nice. See, that was falling in that hole. If he starts to fall in that hole too much, I'll put some tape over it. Because I would like to see it like bouncing down here sometimes, not always fall in the hole. Yeah, okay, so he's getting caught there a lot. I think I'm going to move that one. I don't really like that one there. I think I'll put it more like this. Put it more like this over here, like that. Okay. Oh yeah, it got all the way to the bottom. Oh, I got it in the other cup. You can see it's starting to work where it goes in a different place every time. You never know what's going to happen. I can see that's one shot. It goes all the way over here, but then that's not very interesting. So maybe I want to put something else over here that would shoot it over to here, or over here that might go into the hole, or something else. And you can use the beads also. Put the beads in there to help control where the marble goes. And of course you can decorate it with the paper, the colored paper all around, or the glitter, or whatever you want. Okay, I think that's it. Meanwhile, you're thinking about the angle. It's going a little, if anything, it's a little bit fast. So I could make it slower by chopping off half of this cork, or I could put something under the front like this. Let me just put that here. If I took these two pieces and put these here, these two little cups, then it would be less of a slope, and it would all be jacked up a little bit. Oh, but maybe that'll be good. Then the marble goes very slowly. Whoa, did you see that? It jumped over the border and went in that same hole up there still. Oh, that was a little unexpected. See, even that's still going fast enough. So maybe it is better to have it less, to glue those things on, or to cut off one of those corks. But you can do it however you want to do it. All right? Because this is your pinball machine. And then you can charge people like 50 cents a play every time they want to get 5 marbles for 50 cents. You can make millions of dollars off of this thing. Well, maybe not. I mean, you could just let people play with yours and you play with theirs. All right, so have fun.